Warning. No, I mean warning. This podcast is hosted by a podcaster that does not, I repeat, does not know what to say out his mouthfeel area, and does not express the views of Shizzy Lit Podcast at all or in any way whatsoever at all, not at all or whatsoever. Nautica, Nathan, Nathaniel, nothing, you hear me, I don't even see how he got a show. Anyway, remember what I told everybody, it's totally inappropriate for anybody of any age, color, ethnic, gender, religion, state, country, town or human being on this planet, even aliens. I warned all of yous. I'm out.
Yo, it's your boy OG Shizzy Brizzle. This another Shizzy Lit podcast, you understands me. Today's topic is 15 funniest podcasts 2023. You know all these podcasts. Most podcasts, that's what people think about podcasts. Boring, serious, you feel me, educational, like the little Sunday morning, little infomercial type shits and shit like that. But no, it be all kinds of different podcasts, man. Everybody podcasts, all genres, all personalities and shit. And there's a lot of people that know people don't want to hear that super serious shit. So here go 15 top funny podcasts. 2023 here on Shizzy Lit Podcast. You feel me? We starting off number one. The podcast is called My Dad Wrote a Porno. Podcasts are often at their most brilliant when they're completely and utterly original. Sometimes this rolls into the absolutely absurd, and My Dad Wrote a Porno is a prime example. When UK host Jamie Morton found out his dad had written an erotic novel aptly named Belinda Blinked, he had actually been handed a new concept for a podcast. Each episode he reads out a chapter with his pals James Cooper and Adam Levine, and the three howl with laughter, as you will, you feel me? So number one, My Dad Wrote a Porno. Y'all definitely go check that joint out. That shit is definitely an original, you feel, main man in his own lane, you feel me? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody never think of that, you feel me? Ain't nobody, get handed that like that. So My Dad Wrote a Porno, number one. Top 15 funny podcasts of 2023. I don't know if it's funny or funniest. I'm gonna say funniest. Top 15 funniest podcasts of 2023, because number one, you feel me, My Dad Wrote a Porno sound rather funny. You understand me? It sound rather funny. Number two, What the Fuck with Mark Maron. Maron, whatever the fuck. What the fuck? That's how I start off with the question mark. WTF is a old school podcast which has stayed timeless. It's been around nearly as long as podcasts have, and was started by stand-up comedian Mark Maron after his radio show got canceled. Since then, it's only gotten bigger, and now it's one of the hottest pods in the game. Maron has had the likes of Robin Williams, Randy Newman, and even Barack Obama on as guests. But Maron speaks on them as he would any other guest, and throws in a ton of witty one-liners and shit. So that's number two, What the Fuck with Mark Maron and shit, you feel me? I hope I'm saying my man name right, you know what I mean? We gonna go on to number three. Number three is How Did This Get Made? Paul Scheer, June Diane Raphael, and Jason Mantzoukas. I don't know what the fuck this nigga last name is. Mantzoukas. Extremely long-running podcast has been powering ahead since 2010 and shows no sign of slowing down. Each week, the trio watch and dissect a new bad movie, make jokes about it, attempt to make sense of the plot, and by way of nominal balance, airs the writings of Amazon reviews who given the film in question 4 marks. It's a cozy format, but they do it brilliantly and have a seemingly limitless supply of material. So that's number three. How did this get made? You feel me? Number three. How did this get made? We're on to number four, man. Smartless. If you just want your podcast host stupidly famous, do check out this thoroughly entertaining affair from big names Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes. Arrested Development, BoJack Horseman, Will and Grace. I mean, that's just telling you where they from and shit. It revolves around a slightly tenuous conceit. Each week, one of the three springs a surprise mystery guest on the other two, who must then interview the guest. Whether Whether this is, hold on, I lost my place. Whether this matter or is just an excuse for the busy trio to avoid prep doesn't really matter. The shows are extremely entertainment with massive guest stars and usually entirely undaunted hosts. You feel me? So that's number 4 on the top 15 funniest podcast 2023, Smartless. On the number 5, Hitting Mickey's. Number 5, Hitting Mickey's. Comic Natalie Palamides. Alright. Natalie Palamides and writer Carrie Poppy Disney-themed podcast is sporadic, to say the least. You have to go back to 2008 to get a year where they managed more than 2 episodes. But their pairs alternately endearing and slightly psychotic probes into Disney arcana and the world of its theme park, stack up into impressive body of work, equal parts outlandish and wholesome. The knowledge they probably will spring another episode at some random point is part of the charm. So this joint, they don't even got no damn schedule or nothing. They like me. Niggas just drop when the fuck they feel like dropping and shit. Niggas fuck with it, they fuck with it, they don't, they down. That's number 5, Hitting Mickey's and shit. I ain't know what that was gonna be about. They really talking about like Disneyland and all that type shit. So Hitting Mickey's, number 5 on the top 15 funniest podcast of 2023. Listen, I'm high as shit too, so don't be laughing at my shit. Don't be laughing at my narration in my reading. Baltimore City schools held me down. I'm making them look bad sometimes when I be smoking this shit. Anyway, number 6, Trashy Divorces. Married couples Alicia and Stacey Good podcast about bad relationships. So that's number 6. Trashy Divorces on the top 15 funniest podcasts and shit. So all y'all go check all these Jones out and shit. If you hear something that catch your ear, don't have no fear. Go ahead and listen to it, my dear. Any motherfucker way and shit. That was number 6, Trashy Divorces. Number 7, A Very Fatal Murder. This extremely funny 2-season effort from The Onion is the perfect satire of the true crime podcast. Low-hanging fruit maybe, but A Very Fatal Murder does its job magnificently. It follows intrepid, reputation-prone reporter David Pascal as he uses a computer program to track down a culturally relevant murder for him to throw new light on. This is to say, the death of a hot white girl. It sends up the many foibles and ethical lapse of the true crime boom, while also serving as a fond tribute. I think it would have been follies and ethical lapse and shit, but I could be wrong and shit. I'm reading and learning as we go like y'all. I'm so, you feel me? Y'all hear my reactions and how the fuck I'm saying this shit. This is real shit. This ain't no pre-joint shit, nothing. I don't practice or nothing. I just straight start recording and read, you feel me? So y'all need to appreciate this gangster shit that I be doing and shit. That's number 7, A Very Fatal Murder and shit. You understand me? So we gonna go on to number 8 and shit. No Such Thing as a Fish. That's what the title is, man. That's what the podcast name is, man. No Such Thing as a Fish, man. Number 8, man, on the top 15 funniest podcast 2023, man. This long-running podcast from the question setters of beloved Brick Quiz show QI involves the somewhat revolving cast of presenters, each bringing an improbable fact to the recording, which they will share and discuss together. The vibes is quirky and silly rather than improving. Much of the information is almost aggressively useless, which just makes it funny. And yes, no room to get into it here, but there's indeed an argument that says no such thing as a fish. So you feel me? Listen, that sound like some goofy, silly shit I might like and all that shit. You feel me? Number 8, No Such Thing as a Fish and all that. Y'all go check that out. I'm gonna go check all these joints out. I ain't just reading it for nothing. I'm trying to learn. You feel me? And motherfucking update my Rolodex on the podcast situations and shit. They like up in my little category, up in my lane and shit. So on to number 9, Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet. The podcast is based on a simple but pretty much inexhaustible premise. You feel me? Each week, brother and sister duo Alex and Christine Schaefer offer absurdly dramatic readings of one-star customer reviews of businesses from across the U.S. It is intrinsically funny idea, and the duo keeps a fresh vid-themed episode, setting each other challenges to find extremely specific types of negative reviews, and the sheer joy of their incredulous. Why the fuck is they using all these big ass words? I'm high right now. Incredulous laughter as they read the often deeply bizarre complaints and shit. You feel me? Beach too sandy or water too wet. Number 9. Whoever wrote this joint, my man smart as shit. Yo, like T.I. writing or something. Use all these crazy ass words. Boy, say regular word, boy, so they can read through this shit fluently. Boy, you want people using all the motherfucking college words and shit, the college Webster dictionary words, boy. Write regular words, boy, stop playing around like that. That's number 9, beach too sandy, water too wet. You feel me? Number 10. RHLSTP with Richard Herring. Cult British comic Richard Herring has on the quiet reinvented himself as one of the great celebrities interviewers of the modern age, with his intentionally rude, somewhat embittered questions frequently extracting absolutely golden answers from guests used to altogether consider sets of queries. God damn. The guests lean towards British and Britain-based stand-up, but he begs the odd, huge names and revelations from his show frequently makes the news. This little boy, listen, but I'm glad I know how to read a little bit. Still sound a little bit rough, but I know how to read and get the words out and all that shit, boy. It should be rough. Anyway, that shit is called RHLSTP with Richard Herring. That's number 10 on the top 15 funniest podcast for 2023. Now, even though we might not know who the fuck these motherfuckers is and the titles and shit, they saying they the funniest, so let's go give them a try out and all that. Again, number 10, RHLSTP with Richard Herring, man. So y'all go check that out, cause I know I will. You feel me? We got 5 more to go if you did not know. This shit is called Athletico Mints. British comic Bob Mortimer and writer Andy Dawson long-running podcast started out life as gently surreal take on the world of football. These days, football is a vague thing at best, and although guests from the world of sports are frequent, Athletico Mints is more like a free-form series of sketches and shaggy dog stories. It takes a bit of haunting to, but is marvelously eccentric and full of memorable comic characters. Listen, I tried hard on that one, y'all. I said some shit, but I don't listen, man. Listen, y'all want me to read that motherfucker again? British comic Bob Mortimer and writer Andy Dawson long-running podcast started out life as gently surreal take on a world of football. These days, football is a vague theme at best, and although guests from the world of sports are frequent, Athletico Mints is more like a free-form series of sketches and shaggy dog stories. It takes a bit of art tuning to, but is marvelously eccentric and full of memorable comic. So it takes a bit of art tuning too. Like it's gonna take a little bit of tuning to, but it's marvelously eccentric and full of memorable comic characters. See, cause I got to break this shit down. It's like I don't like reading shit and don't understand what the fuck I'm reading. So I gotta break it down and treat all that, and so I can understand that shit. I got to break it down for myself, so I can understand what the fuck they were trying to tell me in this message right here. So y'all can understand. I don't want to give y'all no shit like that, and I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm gonna tell y'all shit, and I don't know what I'm saying. So I had to break that down like that. So y'all just had to hear me do that out loud. Anyway, number 11, Athletico Mints on the top 15 funniest podcast of 2023 any motherfucking way. That shit, listen, that shit blew my high a little bit, y'all. I'm about to flame this motherfucking stout up, cause you know that's what I'm about, y'all. Any motherfucking way, we gonna go on to motherfucking 12. Quiz gone by. You already know what's going on with this joint. You hear the little title. Quiz gone by. That's number 12. Each week, hosts and comedy quiz Caitlin Powell and Kate Butch looks back on the films and TV shows of their British childhoods and asks, did this show make them queer? The answer naturally is tune into that Shizzy Lip podcast, boy, on Spreaker.com. That joint right, come on.